All right, you just hit the digital download button on the Jumparound with Wes Parkey here on Spreaker.com. Stick around. Right after this fancy little musical interlude, I'll be back in here with Big Joe Beasley. Don't go anywhere.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Hey! All hail Brack!
No!
Let Brack do the intro! Live from Ghost Planet, it's Brack!
No!
Let Brack sing the theme!
No, 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 no!
La 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 la!
And we're off and running. Here we go again. It's another edition of the Jumparound with Wes Parkey. I am that guy, Wes Parkey. And I want to thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time, thank you. And if you're coming back for a second time, if you're coming back for another dose, thank you for coming back and listening some more. We hope to put on a great show for you today. Live from the studios here at the Jungle Room in lovely, the east side of Beaufort, Georgia. I would say the response to the first show was pretty good. It was pretty well received. We actually got an email from a fellow I want to recognize, Joe Fahey over in Dublin, Ireland, checking us out. Joe, I don't know how you found this show. I'm going to have to call you like Irish Joe. You're now Irish Joe, Joe Fahey. Joe Beasley's Big Joe Beasley, not Irish. So he'll be Big Joe, you'll be Irish Joe. But thanks for tuning in, Joe. Tell a friend so we have more listeners coming in from way over there across that ocean, across that big old pond over there. I had a couple of responses that simply had the question, is the King of Beaufort really looking to install a ethanol still in his backyard to make his own gasoline? The answer is, to tell you the truth, I'm not really sure. He says he plans on doing it. I'm not too big. I don't know if he's going to do it or not, but I'm always looking to get some action on a bet. So I made a little phone call. I happen to go to Las Vegas a lot. I think it's no secret. I like going to Las Vegas. I like the town. I like the people. I like being out in the middle of the desert. And I've got some connections out there. So it's a little known fact that you can actually, if you go into a casino, you can talk to the supervisor there at the sports book, and you can ask them if you don't see a bet up on the board. You can ask them if they'll take action on your bet. Usually on sports games, but I've got a fellow over there that I know in a sports book. Now, you're not going to get this kind of action. I need to preface this. If you go into a big property like the MGM, the Mirage, if you go into Caesars, you're probably not going to get this kind of action. You got to go into the smaller sports books because all the big ones are tied together because of their corporations that own them. But if you go into the smaller sports books, you can get this kind of side action that I'm talking about. So I've got my guy over there, Eddie the Bull Avello, working out of the Sahara Sportsbook over there. And so I told him the situation, said, hey, man, I got a bet, and I want to see if you'll take action on it. Explained the story to him. He actually listened to the show. Thank you, Eddie. And so after listening to it, he gave me a couple of options here. So the first one would be on if the still is actually built and put into operation. So he gave me 8-1. 8-1 on the still actually up and operating. I don't know if I like that number or not. I'd like to get a little more, maybe 10-1 on it. But it's still 8-1. Better than 2-1, I would guess. And then the other one he gave me action on was the over-under on the number of gallons distilled if the still is operational at 5.5 gallons. That half point always screws you on these point spreads. In this case, a gallon spread. 5.5 gallons. So that means he has to cook either less than 5 or he has to cook 6 or more. You know, Anyway, 5.5 gallons. I would probably take the under on that. And we have a time frame, too, also. Has to be operational by the end of July. So, for the 8-to-1 to take an effect. If it's not built by the end of July, July 31st, no action on any bets. So we'll see what the King of Buford does with his ethanol still. If you want to call Eddie and get in on some of the action, you can drop me a line here at Wes Parkey on Twitter, or you can contact me on Facebook, Wes Parkey, that's me. And I'll give you all the information you need to reach out to Eddie so that you can get a little modest wager in over at the Sahara in Las Vegas, and you can make some free money off of the King of Buford, Don, last name withheld to protect his identity. Because I feel like I can just about guarantee, folks, if you put down $10 on this thing, you're going to get 90 back, because there's, as we would say, no way in hell that this moonshine ethanol still is being built. All right, well, let's get down to business. I have with me coming in right now my main man from Fraserville, Tennessee, exits 3 and 2A over there on I-240 in Memphis, Tenno, the proud proprietor of Stone Mountain Tours here in Atlanta, Georgia. My boy, Mr. Joe Beasley. What's going on, son?
Thank you. I think you got the wrong exits. Is that right? 3 and 2A?
No, brother, it's 3 and 2A.
Is that right?
I guarantee you, 3 and 2A.
What was 2?
I don't know. It was 3 and 2A. I guess 2A would probably be the Hollywood exit. What was right down from that would be the next exit would be 2. You can go probably Google it and find, but it's 3 and 2A.
We will just have to conversate with our boy Ricky James one day, who takes those exits every day still. So
and he'll know for sure it's 3 and 2A. If there is somebody listening from Fraserville, if you can drop an email, Wes Parkey or Joe Beasley on Facebook, at Wes Parkey. What's your Twitter handle over there?
My Twitter handle is that's hard to know. I have to look it up.
You don't remember?
I know I have one.
You don't know your Twitter. You don't know your Twitter handle?
I'll tell you. Hold on one second here. Let's check it out. It is at JBees_tweets.
JBees, BEEZ, right?
Lowercase J, uppercase B, lowercase EEZ _tweets. At JBees tweets.
Well, anyway, at Wes Parkey, it's a lot easier. Send one of us a tweet if you know where exits 3 and 2A are over there in Memphis.
That would be downtown Fraserville.
Yeah, pretty much. So, anyway, hey, I know you haven't heard the first part of the show yet because you're just coming in. I called out to Las Vegas, and I talked to my boy Eddie the Bullavello out there at the Sahara, and I got some odds. I got some action laid down on the ethanol, in quotations here, moonshine, still, that the King thinks he's going to run. So Eddie gives me 8-1 on the still actually coming up and operating, and I get the over-under on the amount of gallons made in the first batch, 5.5. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that?
5.5 gallons from the mash.
In the first batch. The first batch, 5.5 gallons.
That's going to be Don's test run.
Now we've got to, the deadline is July the 31st, too. If this is not done by July 31st, then there's no action on any bets. Everything is dead.
Okay. I'm sure Don's going to get on top of that. He probably won't jump right on that until he sees the actual bet, though.
I know. That's what's going to really stir him up. I mean, I personally think the 8-1's a little weak. I was trying to get 10-1 out of him, but the best I could get was 8-1.
So, someone seems to have a little faith in Don out there in Vegas.
I guess. He doesn't even know Don. Hell, he hardly knows me. I mean, I think it's an easy money bet, though, because there's no way on God's green earth that the still is going to go in?
Not in this part of Georgia, probably. Now, he may be looking for a refurbished still. He could probably find one of those a little further up the road.
I don't think it's even. He won't get past the paperwork, much less get anything built with the still.
Yeah, it might take him. About 6 weeks to fill out all the paperwork. He said. What he said, 8 to 10 pages.
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't. I was just over at his house the other day. He didn't show me this paperwork. Now he showed it to me because I had the video up and running while we did this interview. I saw the paperwork in his hand. Of course, it could have been anything. It could have been some kind of hell. I don't know. It could have been a summons to appear in court for all I know. But he showed me the paperwork over the Skype video there.
Well, I'm intrigued. I want to see it happen.
Would you put?
I just don't. I'm with you. Don't put that in your car. Put that in a lawnmower.
To test it. I wholeheartedly agree.
Now, it can be a riding lawnmower. That's fine.
Well, he's got a riding lawnmower. He's got a big patch of grass over there to cut. So, I mean, he could very well put it in the lawnmower.
It definitely wouldn't be putting that in a vehicle. Not a vehicle worth any money, at least, unless it's a top fuel dragster.
Well, they'd probably run that. But, would you, let me ask you, okay, would you put it in your car? If he whipped up this batch and then said, hey, I'm going to give it to you for free to put in your car because I know you're going to become a repeat customer once you try it, would you actually do it?
Probably not.
Of
course, like you said, we're putting 10% ethanol or whatever it says. Every time you go to the gas station, everything always says contains 10% ethanol. And it's nothing more than corn liquor, but
corn squeezins, man.
A little mash.
Well,
a little mash. Like you said, it's more of a moonshine still than anything.
Well, I don't know. So we'll move on here. You just came back from your big vacation. I think you went up to Gatlinburg for Memorial Day. Is that right?
Yeah, we went up to Gatlinburg. I wouldn't call that a big vacation. That was more of a throw some crap in the car and let's just go on an adventure.
Well, it was a nice little 2-day getaway or something like that, probably, right?
Yeah, it was okay. It's the first time going up there. 42 years old. So in the last 5 years, I've made it to Disney for the first time and to Gatlinburg now.
Well, that's nice. Nothing but T-shirt shops and fudge places up there in Gatlinburg.
It is basically how I remember Panama City the last time I went there. We're talking T-shirt shops on every corner, fudge shops on every corner, and not just T-shirts, that you can buy with the stencil already on there. You got your airbrush extraordinaire. 2014 in the Berg T-shirt shops.
Ronnie Loves Tammy 2014.
Oh yeah.
With the little
seat. Of course, you don't even have to have that now. You don't have to have the have that airbrush. That's special. If you're getting an airbrush, because you can get the I'm with my sexy husband with the arrow pointing to the one side, or I'm with my sexy wife. The couples, as they say, the couples gimmick T-shirts.
Well, I know when I was a kid, it was the I'm with stupid, and it had the arrow pointing to the left or to the right, Yeah,
I didn't see any of those.
And
I did see the Yay, I Pooped Today T-shirt, so. That's
newsworthy to tell everybody, right?
Yeah.
That your bowels are working properly.
Because nothing says, hey, I'm new in town. Let's meet up. Then a stick figure with his hands in the air saying, hey, I pooped today.
I remember when I went, we'd always go down to like the beach towns. It was the Big Johnson T-shirts. Big Johnson this, Big Johnson that, Nobody's got balls like Big Johnson or whatever, Yeah.
I seem to recall seeing at least one Big Johnson T-shirt. So they're still out there.
Probably.
But you go to one T-shirt shop, you've been in all of them.
Yeah. Probably just rehashes from when we were going when we were younger.
Yeah. Just, they're different, different stuff on them now.
But
different iron-ons.
I'm never buying matching shirts with my wife. Nothing even remotely close am I going to wear that looks close to my wife, Nothing.
No, it's we're not going to have the same shirts on for a family reunion. At the park, we're not going to have the same T-shirts on when we go on a cruise. when we go to Six Flags, a trip to the mall, Chuck E. Cheese. You know, we're not going to coordinate all that together. It was funny because I was pointing at Hunter, who is my oldest son, and I said, never, ever purchase shirts like that with your girlfriend, your significant other, your future wife, any of that stuff. And I swear, within 30 seconds, walking down the street, sexy one and sexy two.
The Dr. Seuss shirts.
Oh yeah,
Like the Thing 1 and Thing 2, or Drunk 1 and Drunk. Those are real popular. The Drunk 1 and Drunk 2 shirts.
Exactly.
Yep, that's. And what about if you were on a family vacation? You probably saw all the cars driving through town that had the little stick figure families on the back windows of the cars.
Man, that's a hour-long conversation we get going on that. Those are great, aren't they? Aren't those awesome?
I hate them. I hate the little soccer balls with the kid's name, Chase, number 10, or the football, or, you know, all of those things. And even the ones that have the damn dog. They have the stick figure family and the dog. The stick figure dog. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to say that none of that's ever been on my wife's vehicle, because I think we've had Hunter's name and number on there at one time.
Here we go. Here we go. Go ahead.
But I think it was a magnet. It wasn't like the little stickers. You know, it wasn't the permanent sticker. I mean, they have it all now. You got the R2-D2 Star Wars family. You got the zombie families. You got, you know, of course, our running joke is, with me and the boys, is we want to go and buy like a little old lady sticker or a little old man sticker, preferably an old man, and get about 50 or 60 little cats and stick them suckers all around somebody's windshield.
That would be a little old lady, not a little old man. A little old man would have.
Depends on who you're talking about.
Well, there's probably a couple of our friends that would be the little old man with the cats. I agree.
Yeah, but a little old lady with about 25 cats around her.
Traditionally, it's a little old lady, though. You have to agree.
That would be great to see that on the back of a car.
And then you can have
right beside Calvin pissing on a Ford symbol.
And then you can have the little sticker of the animal control vehicle coming down to their house to take all the cats and put the lady in jail.
That's right.
That goes right along, you know, with these folks that put the stick figure families with their little kids that get the, you know, because these days, you know, when we were growing up, you didn't get a trophy just because you participated in any sport. You know, when we were growing up, you had to actually get in the game. You had to win a championship to get a trophy. Nowadays, everybody. Oh, what's the league entry fee? $500. Because everybody has to get a freaking trophy.
That's right. And it wasn't so bad seeing that sometimes. But if you ever go to a chess tournament, and I know you haven't really gone to too many chess tournaments.
I can't say that I've been to any chess tournaments ever.
That seems to be a good elementary school thing that going on around this area.
I've been to as many chess tournaments as I've been to Dragon Cons or Dungeons and Dragons tournaments or Magic the Gathering tournaments. That would be zero.
Well, let me inform you on something, because you know we trotted out to Dallas probably 3 or 4 years ago. I think Cole was in second grade, and we did the little tournament out there, national elementary chess tournament, whatever. Because he's a pretty good chess player.
Does he play? I know he used to play chess. Does he play chess anymore? I haven't kept.
No, he's not on a team. He's not on the school club or any of that stuff. He played in the only tournament he's played in since he left elementary school was at scout camp last year, and he won. He beat a 26-year-old scout leader.
It's a short
in the championship.
It's a shallow pool to draw from. It's a short field if you're playing in a Boy Scout camp.
Well, I can tell you something about this Boy Scout camp. This is why he won this thing. Nothing but a bunch of guys just like himself walking around.
Your son.
My son.
If he's a good player, then you're saying that you're saying that there were a bunch of good players in there.
No, I'm saying there was a lot of guys in there whose last names were probably like Jones, Smith, Brown.
Oh, so you're saying there were no Hong Chi Wans and no Patels in the field.
I'm just saying that
you can say that. Just tell the truth.
Anybody with a name that has more than 13 vowels or 27 letters, no, they weren't in part of that tournament. so anyway, we go to this tournament.
Short field.
Yeah, short field. We go to this tournament in Dallas, and needless to say, they start handing out trophies at the end of this thing. Yeah, each kid plays, I don't know, like 8 games, whatever. And, there's, I don't know, 400 kids in his age group playing. And they start giving out trophies. And it's not like, first through 10th. You expect, these days something like that. No, we've got like, I think he finished tied for 27th. He got a trophy out of that. They went down to like 35th place, and there'd be like 20 trophies at 35th place. And I just looked at my wife, and I'm like, really? Are you kidding me?
How do you get, 35, you're telling me you get 20 trophies for the people that finished it. I don't get it. You're saying that there's like.
Oh, yeah. They were tying. They were tying with all these people. Now, they all got a medal. Everybody got a medal, participation medal, hang around your neck. But they were giving out trophies to like 35th place. And it wouldn't be just like, hey, one person got 35th. No, it's everyone that tied in that group. Man, there must have been, of 400 kids in that age group, 300 trophies. So if you didn't get a trophy, man, you really sucked. But yeah, like you said, it's a shame. Like when we were growing up, and not that I played a whole lot of sports or participated in a lot of sports growing up, but man, yeah, you're right. If you didn't finish first, second, or third, you didn't get anything.
I carried a gun around school myself.
Yeah, and they didn't give out more than probably first, second, and third in those tournaments. Those are high school tournaments, I guess.
First.
Really?
First.
Nice.
You got nothing unless you were first in those damn rifle tournaments, in those rifle team tournaments.
Wow.
So, but I want to go back to the chess for a second because now, I can't say I'm more of a checkers player. I'm more of a Connect Four type of guy than I am a chess player. So, answer question: how do you tie in a chess match?
They went by scores. You could tie in a chess match, a chess game anyway. I think it was stalemate or whatever, or draw. But they scored like they got so many points for each round. So if you won, you got 1 point. If you had a draw or whatever, you got like a half a point. So, you just end up with a bunch of kids playing whoever, and they got like 6.2 or 6.5 or 6 for their total score. So that's how they did it. But yeah, that was an interesting thing to see, to have that many people getting trophies. It's bad enough at baseball tournaments.
I don't understand how you even keep score in chess like that, because half the time in baseball, it's really bad in baseball now. And nobody should lose. Nobody should have their feelings hurt because they're afraid of these kids losing. So we're not going to keep score. Everybody gets to bat. There's not 3 outs. You play until everybody gets a bat in an inning, and then you don't keep score through the game, so everybody goes home happy.
Yeah, and I guess that's fine if you're 3 or 4, But when you start playing T-ball,
I'm talking T-ball. I'm not talking 3 or 4.
Well, I know, but back when we were little and you played T-ball, it wasn't like that.
No, you got your ass whipped. If you got
beat 20-2, you got beat 20-2.
That's right.
And matter of fact, there was one of the few times my dad trotted out to the where did we play? We played at Jeter out there on Shelby Forest. I think I was in 5th, 6th grade playing baseball. A couple of years I played baseball. And we were playing the famous East Memphis Tigers. don't even know how they were in that league out there. They were from out there by you, weren't they?
Ringers, yeah, we played.
Yeah, they were ringers, and they I think they trotted out about 20. I want to say it was 23-2 was the score, was the final score. There was no 7-run limit. There was a 7-run per inning limit.
Was your dad running out there to make? Was he hollering uncle running out there? Why was your dad running out there?
Not that my dad's not really into sports. You know that. So anyway, he trotted around to the dugout and he just kind of leaned in there and he goes, "Do we need to stick around long for this thing? What's going on with this game?" I said, "I don't know." And apparently we're getting our butt handed to us.
Let me give you.
Needless to say, I think that team lasted about 5 games into us, and then I think they played every team out there one time, and then they just left. Bunch of ringers.
Let me give you another good example of exactly what I'm talking about. This spelling bee that we just had. The National Spelling Bee ends in a tie.
I saw that.
How do you end in it? One guy can't spell another word. And this whole thing where you ever notice that some of the kids, they pick up that little card they had around their neck and they'd spell the damn thing, they'd write it out in their hand. Did you see that?
I didn't notice that. I didn't watch it really, I'll be honest with you. I think I saw like when they were down to about 4 or 5 kids flipping through the channels, and I saw there was 4 or 5 kids on there, and needless to say, they're not from around here.
Well, it just gets me with the whole tie thing again. Well, were they tired? Were they ready to go home? What was the deal? You can't let these kids beat each other. It's only the second tie. There should never be a tie in a spelling bee.
How do you run out of words?
You know
how they could have finished that thing off? Even if they ran out of words, they should have said, "All right, let's do this. Let's go get some words." We ran out of words in the Webster's Dictionary. These kids knew every freaking word in the Webster's Dictionary. Let's go to the Urban Dictionary, because none of these kids know anything out of the Urban Dictionary.
I got. Here we go. Let's really add some fun to it.
A little spice up the spelling bee.
All you got to exactly. All you really
spell swag.
To tell the truth, that would be easy for those kids. They know swag. They know all those words like that. But here's how, in my opinion,
I know what swag is. I don't know if any of those kids actually know what swag is.
Oh, they know what swag is. If you don't know it, then go look it up in Urban Dictionary. But anyway, look, here's the easiest way to do it. Honestly, you put the kids on a clock. Spell the word in 10 seconds instead, because you know how these kids do. If you didn't watch it, here's what just about every kid: spell duplicity. Okay, duplicity. What part of the whatever it is? Is it an adjective? Is it a noun? Blah blah blah. Okay, and they tell them that. Then they go,
country of origination, please.
Yeah.
Latin.
Yep. And then
Can you use that in a sentence, please?
Exactly.
Can you pronounce that again? Are there any other pronunciations?
Alternate pronunciation. You've got it all. You watch it.
I've seen the spelling bee before, so yeah, I know how it is.
Okay, so all you got to do is tell them duplicity. 10 seconds. Go. Now, and here's the deal. Really, add like a steel chair to it or something. Have a guy standing behind this kid with a steel chair, and the minute, all right, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Get down to 1. Kid can't try to spell it. Whack. Right on the back with that steel chair. Kid's down. Let's see him get up and try to answer another one. Spell this word now. If you can get up and answer it, you win.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to go that far. That's a good suggestion for them. You should write that in.
Put them in
I believe that would be Scripps and Howard.
Put them in a cage, man. Let's settle this. You don't end in a tie.
No, that was pretty pathetic, actually. When I saw that, and I'm like, really? You ended the spelling bee in a tie? How do you run out of words? I don't get it. And like you said, okay, let's come back the next day and finish this thing up.
You don't need another day. You don't need sudden death. You use a steel chair, chainsaws, a bat. You put them in a cage. You threaten to break somebody's leg. You put a time limit on them.
You blindfold them.
I'm telling you.
You take them out there in the back and you drip some water on their head.
You dip them in honey and stick a damn live bear in there with them. Whatever works, man. I mean, let's get these kids to spilling these things and get it on, and we're going to get a winner. There's none of this other mess.
The 2015 UFC sponsored National Spelling Bee from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Michael Buffer out there. Are you ready?
I'd pay to see that, at least. I'll tell you what, I'd pay to see that.
I guarantee you this. It'd be the only spelling bee that would make money on pay-per-view.
I'd pay. I'd trot out my, what $49.99?
Oh, that's too much, man. Come on, $20 maybe, not 50.
Okay. Well, most pay-per-views are $50. So
I know it, but you're not watching Tyson fight. You're watching.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, this could be Brown versus Patel.
You got to build up the heel before you can kill him.
These kids. Well, that one kid, he was a finalist last year. I mean, the one where his sister won. I did read about that somewhere.
Oh, don't look at me. I don't know. There's a beautiful video of them running down the aisle, as their name is called, to the Ultimate Warrior's music. You got to go look that up on the internet.
The spelling bee contestants come into music. It's on. that might be a good topic for discussion at another time. Let's come up with the top 10 entrance songs for spelling bee to the squared circle.
I don't know. Anyway,
spelling bee gimmick.
So I want to talk about. Have you seen where some of our? I don't want to. No. Yeah. Okay. Here's what we'll do. I'll put it this way. Don't you hate it when you're on Facebook and you see people who you know that are openly fighting and airing their dirty laundry on Facebook?
That's not what Facebook's for. You're kidding me, right? I could have swore that was Zuckerberg's intention when they took this thing online or to the public.
I don't know, but it's just kind of, especially when it's like a married couple that and you know that they're probably sitting. The dude's probably sitting in a recliner, and the girl's sitting on the couch. He's on an iPad or a cell phone. She's on an iPad or a cell phone, maybe a laptop. And they're arguing when they're like 10 feet away from each other or less. And they're like putting all this dirty laundry, and you're going, oh, good grief, this is a car crash. Why are we watching it? It used to be Facebook was just about, hey, ooh, look, I went to the sushi place here in town, and here's my sushi meal. You'll love this. Oh, this is so delicious.
Yeah, you've got to check this out. Or, hey, I'm at the gym. I'm checking in. I'm going to pound some weights, hit the treadmill.
I'm wanting to let you know that I am honestly giving it a solid effort to try to lose weight in the gym today.
Exactly.
And while I'm thinking about it, since I have this platform, to those people out there, and you know who you are, who send me a Candy Crush game invite every day, I'm not playing Candy Crush ever. I do play some games. Candy Crush is one of those games I will never, ever play. Quit sending the Candy Crush invites. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, crushing candy. I'm crushing a Twix bar later and a Mr. Good bar, but I'm not crushing any other candy games.
I'm not Tetrising. I'm not Farmvilling. I'm not doing any of that. Maybe poker. That's about it. That's the end of that. I'm getting off the soapbox now. Quit sending me the Candy Crush invites.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that. I get a ton of those too. I don't play goblins and gnomes, or My Sims Facebook app or whatever. I will play a little My Vegas slots every once in a while.
Well, yeah, you get the free.
There's something out of that though.
Yeah, you get the free comps when you go to Vegas when you play that one. My Vegas.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised about that actually on our last trip last summer out to Vegas because they had the little kiosk right there in I forget what casino it was in. So for those of you listening, if you do play games on Facebook or whatnot, and you do go to Vegas once a year at least, play My Vegas slots.
And make
And
Joe your friend.
That's not a paid announcement or anything.
No, make Joe your friend so he can get more comps when he goes to Vegas.
Yeah, you want to send me something? Send me some coins in that game. All I'm doing is boosting my rewards. I'm going to get that free buffet when we get out there.
Absolutely. You never know how many Skittles and M&Ms you can take off of a buffet.
I may not know that, but I think somebody else knows how many Skittles you could take off a buffet at the Mirage.
I know how many Skittles and M&Ms and Mike and Ike's you can take off a buffet.
And Mike and Ike's, I forgot.
Especially when you're wearing cargo pants. You can take quite a bit.
Oh, people, man. I should have had that on video.
I have been kicked out of some finer casinos than the Mirage in my time in Vegas. But I can attest to that, or at least I know I've been kicked. I take that back. We've both been kicked out of casinos. Which casino were you ever kicked out of?
I was kicked out the first time we went out there at the Hard Rock.
Oh yes, I forget. You were the first one to get kicked out of a casino.
I went through. Man, what was that? That's back when you could get the little cups. Collect the cups. That's my first trip to Vegas. Wes had already been out there about 18 times at least.
Well, I like Vegas. What can I say?
I'm probably, if we did an over-under on that, I would probably take the over at that time.
Over what?
18 times for you at that moment.
Well, no. I just started going out there then. That was like 95, so I just started going in 94.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we went in, collected all them cups, went in probably 30 casinos.
That was back in the day. The reason you had to collect cups or you could collect cups is because they didn't.
Well, they were free.
Well, it's like today you go out there and you put the dollar in the machine, and instead of getting the money back, when you cash out, it gives you a little paper slip to take to the little ATM. You can't even take them to the window anymore. You pretty much just put them in the little machine and it spits out your money. But back then, you got real coins and your damn fingers got black and nasty from picking up all the money. So you could go from casino to casino and it didn't cost anything to collect the little plastic cups. They look like butter bowls actually.
Yeah, much cheaper than collecting actual chips like we do now.
Yeah, so it's a lot cheaper because you just walk in and pick one up and walk out.
Walk through a room in your house and you go, oh, look, there's about $80 in chips. It's $80 just sitting there.
On the wall.
Yeah, but needless to say, I got kicked out of the one casino. The only reason we went out there was to go see the Hard Rock. It had been open like a couple months at the time.
Exactly, yeah.
Matter of fact, I didn't even make it to the casino floor. I was just, being the music fan I am, checking out instruments.
And got kicked out because you didn't have a photo ID.
No, I had a photo ID at the time. Actually, it was that was about 3 months after I moved to Georgia, to the Atlanta area. I ended up sitting on the corner waiting to leave while my man's in there throwing down on the craps table. However, you did come out eventually with a Red Hot Chili Peppers chip that I still have.
Yeah, I had to get something for you before you tore the place down like Godzilla. You were as mad as that damn gorilla in that. What was the name of that game back then? Rampage.
I'd have done it to that bald-headed dude too if I'd have got away with it.
Oh hell,
that was a great trip.
That was.
I think I boycotted the Hard Rock the next few times we went out there.
I don't think you ever went out there since then. No, yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, we've gone out there quite a few times.
Yeah, but you've been back since then, and they let you in. And I honest to God, think the bald guy was still there. The one.
I think the first time we did go back there, you were like, "Hey, look, there's a bald guy."
I think it was him.
It probably was. He's got tenure now there at the Hard Rock. He's
the director of security now, probably.
That's right. Bad thing was it was prom night, I believe, and there was a bunch of kids and running around in tuxes and prom dresses.
That's what made it a bad situation because
that's what really ticked me off.
It was prom night, and there were kids running around in several casinos in their prom dresses and tuxedos, and we go into that one casino, and they ran you out of there. Yet the kids were running around in the casino with their prom dresses and tuxes on. That's true. That's a true story.
Yeah, that was a long day. I think it was like 1 or 2 in the morning too.
Yeah, well, we had flown from Atlanta. That was a weird trip because that was when I was actually in Dallas that week, and I went from Dallas on a Friday to Memphis, changed suitcases, flew to Atlanta, spent the night at your house. We flew from Atlanta to Salt Lake to Las Vegas. We got there and stayed up all night, basically. Slept for a couple hours, got up the next day, and I think we came right back. We did. We came back Sunday. So
came through Dallas.
Almost crashed over the Grand Canyon.
That was pretty interesting.
And then we came back. We came back to Dallas. I went to Memphis. You guys went to Atlanta. I went home, packed up my suitcase again, same night, and flew back immediately to Dallas for Monday morning.
Yeah, you were just taking classes or something.
Yeah, I was in a class, but I spent that week in Vegas raising hell.
Well, at least that weekend.
That's all that mattered. Who cares about Monday through Friday?
That's right. Anytime you go.
Good grief, Joe. We're running this thing so long. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take a break here. And I guess we'll do part 2. We'll come back on Thursday. That's what we'll do. We'll take a break here. We'll come back on Thursday. We'll do an uncensored show where you can use all the naughty words and dirty words you want to. No, that's somebody else does that.
I think we can't be stealing gimmicks now.
No gimmick. We're not doing gimmick infringement. But we'll come back Thursday with part 2 of the show. But you've been such an excellent talker here. Maybe I'll just go ahead and you're the whole reason that this thing has gone on, because it was you that told me to listen to a podcast that I said, Joe, that is so lame. Anybody can do it, and that's why I'm doing it now. So, but I tell you what, stop right there. We're going to hold off here, and we're going to come back on Thursday with part 2 with the Big Joe Beasley man, all right?
Okay.
All right. So we'll cut it short right here. We will come back on this Thursday, with part 2 here with Big Joe Beasley. We do appreciate you tuning in today, listening to us here on the Jumparound. Remember, Wes Parkey or Joe Beasley on Facebook, or at Wes Parkey, or JBees_tweets on Twitter. And once again, we thank you for listening in. We'll see you on Thursday. So long, everybody.